What's up, everybody? Dougie, what's up, man? We're hanging with Mark and Dougie. Great week. I've had a great week, man. I wake up, I'm happy, man. Getting old. I'll tell you what, I'm getting old because my son turned 18, and that means you're getting old. My oldest is 30, and my youngest is 18. So I'm like, damn, man, why I gotta get old, brother? Why you gotta get old? You know what I'm saying?
I felt old. I was when I was in Tulsa hanging out. I hung out with somebody, came to one of the shows, and we went back and partied a little bit. And then when I was leaving, I fell like an old man on the floor.
It's funny. You still have young thoughts, but you're old. It's funny because me and my girlfriend we're like, it's like Friday night. It's like 5 o'clock. I'm like, we're gonna get crazy tonight, man. I'm ready to party, start drinking, start having a good time. And then it's like 9 o'clock. We look at each other like, we get home right now. Kitchen Nightmares is on. We can catch spaghetti. It's like, you think you have it in you, but you really don't. But hey, it's nothing you can do about it, man. Time. Hey, listen. At least I'm not Joe Biden old. I have my faculty still. I still know where I'm at. I'm not getting lost in front of my house saying, "Where am I?" Looking around at my front door, saying, "How do I get to my front door?" I'm not there yet, Doug. So,
Well, that's good.
Unfortunately, I'm not running the country either. So,
Yeah, you're not. You don't have all that on your plate.
exactly. So that's a little scary, man. A little scary. But guess what, man? I got good news. I mean, we didn't get to talk about it last week because we didn't have a show, unfortunately. And everybody, make sure you watch the show and give us some good reviews and subscribe because that fires us up and it gets us going, makes us want to do it, man. It just fires us up. But we weren't here last week, and the news, I think you know it by now. Cuomo, he's bye-bye. He's gone.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so much had built up. He could not. They cannot ignore it anymore.
Defend it anymore. It's funny. They could defend you until it gets bad, and then you know what? They don't want to go down with you. So when the left starts seeing it going down with somebody, they get rid of them quick because then more people get investigated and more things happen, and they don't want that to happen because if you start investigating everybody, let me tell you, Cuomo's probably the least of that crew. What's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. And let's hope that all the people, the 15,000 old people he killed in those nursing homes. Let's hope he answers for that as well.
Yeah, we all knew he was doing a terrible job, and I'm surprised he lasted that long. Thanks to the 20-something women that came out. Thank you very much. I appreciate it for coming out and getting rid of this man because he was a nightmare. He really was.
They should take his Emmy back, right? Didn't he get an Emmy for being such a great leader?
Yeah, Emmy for most people killed in a old age home, I guess. Yeah. He won that award. It was a pretty good award, man. So what else is going on, Doug? Talk to me. What's been going on with you?
Well, shit, man. We've had like you said, look at what's happening. One of the best thing about Joe Biden being president is
there is a best thing.
There is. And
please tell me. I want to know.
The best thing about him being president is that we're getting to see him shit the bed. We're getting to see him completely fail this country and the world. We're getting to show, when the critics, I love when people sit there and go, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing. We could have done it better. You guys suck." And then they get to the helm and they're like horrible. Yeah. The fucking border is out of control. We got people. Even that clown they got as the head of the national security. That guy Marcos, that Spanish guy. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Then they do. Why don't you keep hiring people based on their race and their religion and their color and all that shit? Have nothing to do with their qualifications. Let's just get people that are black, they're Spanish, they're gay. Whatever. Let's look at all that's what happens when a president picks on that type of criteria.
Yeah, well, he got elected on that criteria, and that's why he's sticking with it. And the funny thing about it is it doesn't work. We know it doesn't work. The best man should always have the job, and that's how it's always been in life. That's how it is.
The best person. The best person.
The best person. But I say the best man.
Yes.
The best person should get the job, whether it be man, woman. Holy shit. This thing fell on me. Hey, Donnie, where are you, Donnie?
Fuck.
Hey, I just pulled a Clinton. Remember when that set fell on him?
Hey, did Joe Biden put that thing together for you?
Hey, Donnie, man, what's up? You here one time, Donnie, and the whole place is falling apart, man. It fix this right here, Donnie, real quick, Phil. All right, did that go down? We good? All right. At least he's here. Otherwise, I'd be fixing it and talking at the same time. But man, the best person should always have the job. And unfortunately, with this administration, it's all about diversity. And, diversity doesn't always work, brother.
It's great. You got to go with quality first. You got to go with, especially in positions of importance.
Yeah.
You have to go with the people that are going to get the job done, and then hopefully from that basket of talent, you can pick the most diverse people as possible. But don't just bring in people because of they have no qualifications and then
No.
do it. I mean, again, the good thing is as 2022 is around the corner. There's a lot of there's a lot of congressmen, and there's going to be a red wave. Look, most people can tell that they're a bunch of scumbags, the Democrats. They're full of shit. They're hypocrites. Do as I say, not as I do. We've seen plenty of that hypocrisy in the last several months. And now we're seeing a president of the United States who just said a week ago, this will not be a moment like Saigon. This will not be Vietnam. Okay.
It's be worse.
It's
But
worse.
but the funny thing about it is that they're going to. That's why they're trying to make it where it can never be a red wave, because they're trying to let certain people in the country that don't vote that way. Like
Yeah.
you said, the last couple of weeks, they're not letting Cubans in, because they vote, conservative. And I think it's going to be hard for me personally, and I hope I'm wrong. I think it's going to be hard for a Republican ever to run for office. I really think it's going to be hard.
Well, I mean, thank God that these voter rules, the state, the Supreme Court are holding up a lot of these voter rules, and it's good that I guess in Texas there's some Democrats that are about to go to jail
Yes.
for running out of the state, and so let's see. And I think again, we're seeing people, the average American, looking at what's going on, and they're going, you know what, this is wrong. This is bullshit.
It only works if the average American has his eyes open and sees it. There's so many people that have their eyes closed and just, it just don't want to hear anything else. They don't want to hear Biden's bad. They said no, Biden's good, and they think he's good, and Trump's bad and Biden's good, and their eyes are closed, and that's the problem. If you have your eyes open, it's very simple to see. It's not hard to see what's going on. I mean,
Well,
forget about what he's doing. It's what he's not doing. It's what he's
Well-
not doing. He's not doing anything.
Well, the public has spoken. His approval rating has fallen to a low of he's 57% of Americans disapprove of what he's doing.
And what are the other 43% on crack?
Yeah,
I mean, with the other 43%, oh, he's doing okay. What has Biden done? Please, somebody tell me what Biden has done. Forget about the last year, the last 47 years. What has he done that you like? What's the thing that he's done?
he hasn't vanquished the virus like he said. We're going to vanquish the virus. No,
It got worse. It's not even, and it's summer. This is when it doesn't flourish, the virus. It's summer.
Yeah.
Imagine when winter hits, and he's done nothing. He's done nothing. He really has done nothing.
So let's get something straight. From afar, he thought he could do it better, right? Because he had no idea. He just said that, oh, Trump doesn't know what he's doing. He had no idea. That's one of the things I hate when we're in a pandemic, uncharted waters. When anybody criticizes the actions of people, you're like, what the fuck? You don't know how you would have handled it. And we're finding out. They got to the helm. They had, somebody brought up this point. Over 600 and something thousand people died, right? And on Trump's watch, it was like 300 and something thousand. And there was,
more people have died in the last 3 months than the last year.
Yeah.
It's been horrible. For the last 6 months, whatever it is.
If you base it on when there was a vaccine, no vaccine, Biden's doing horribly. And you know what? Again,
the summer's supposed to be when it's down the least.
Yeah. And well, he's useless. Like you said, he got lost in his own rose garden.
Yep.
Even a Secret Service agent's like, follow me, dumbass.
Yeah. And here's another thing I have an issue, and I'm going to keep talking about this. I know it's not a popular thing, but I can't help it. I can't help myself. They have to tell this guy every day, stop looking at little girls like that. Stop it. They have to, because it's so noticeable. It's on camera. It's like, so he can't help himself. Listen, they had an 11-year-old girl the other day on, and he's staring right at her chest. And I'm thinking, I know it's wrong. The little girl knows it's wrong. The mom and dad are probably dying. All the Secret Service have to be saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? He can't help himself.
Wasn't that incredible? That perv, like he was there to sign everything, and Kamala and all these other people are getting around him for that, to sign that, whatever it was, for the Capitol Police.
Yeah.
And then he sees the girl. He zones in on her, right? He's like, ooh, look at her.
Yeah.
And he's focusing on it. And then he got his hand around her and he had it all around, like up in her, smelling her shit.
He's staring at this little girl. And this is not the first time, Doug. You know what? People have a moment of I mean, I don't have a moment of lapse with that, but people might not be paying attention or maybe looking something the wrong way. But this has happened so many occasions. And I know for a fact they have meetings with him. I know for a fact they have to have meetings to say, listen, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop.
Hey, Mark, listen, I could be a perv every once in a while. Listen, if I'm in an outdoor setting and some lady bends over and you can see her G-string coming out of her back,
But that's normal because she's of age. That's normal.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That that's a guy thing. But when you watch the excitement in that guy's eyes when he saw that little girl, he was like,
"There's something really wrong with him."
Yeah.
And he's not competent. First of all, he's completely not competent at all. He's not aware. He's not. It's bad because other countries see this and we're showing weakness.
And no more questions. Nobody gets to answer this guy any questions. He just comes and goes. No more questions. And then when he does ask questions, he makes a fool out of it.
Trump had questions thrown at him, vicious questions, like vicious. Trump killed who's the famous guy he killed? Trump, the terrorist. I can't think of his name right now. And all they were doing is asking questions about other things. He did a great thing, and Abali, whatever his guy's name was, but he killed the guy. And everybody's asking questions about tax evasion, all this other bullshit stuff that government already checked out a million times.
Yeah. The IRS has already audited him, but let's have the Department of Justice now look at it. Okay.
That man's been looked through once over, twice over, 3 times over. I mean, they find nothing on him, and believe me, they want to find something. I mean, Biden, it's an open book. It really is. So what are you going to do, man? Enough of Biden, because we'll get back to him. I can only listen so much and talk about him because my skin crawls when I talk about him too much. The shame of the matter is, I think it was an unfair election. I do. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but there's no way I believe 85 million people voted for a senile man that couldn't even say 3 words. I don't believe it. So we'll leave it at that.
And like I said, the only good thing is he's now the president. He's eating a dick. He's just completely fucking things up, and he's making his party. His party will pay. The Democratic Party will pay.
The entertainment industry's ruined. If I can't watch sports, I can't. And something's got to be done in the Middle East. We'll see if he could do it. I don't think he can, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think you're right about this one thing, Doug, and I hope you're right. I hope even my liberal friends, I have to be watching this and saying, I fucked up, man. I fucked up on this one.
They won't admit it.
It's like being a Jets fan. Say this guy Sam Darnold, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great, and then he sucks. You got to admit it. Okay, he sucks. So that's what's going on now. You have to admit that you picked the wrong person. End of story.
Yeah. I even held back. Somebody even said, I thought you'd be making all kinds of comments with him. I'm like, no, it's bad enough. I don't need to rub it in your face.
You don't have to. You don't even have to make comments. He does it on his own.
I don't need to be right. I don't need to be right that he's an idiot. We're suffering. The country is suffering for it. And if you want to back him up, keep backing him up. And then let's move on. Let's move on from this scumbag. Biden.
So this blows my mind, this next topic. Brett Favre, who I consider one of the toughest players ever. Like, he got hit, he got up. I think he had the record for most games. He played like 19 years without missing a game. Hard-nosed football's about. I think he got hit too many times in the head, man.
Yeah.
Now he's saying that all kids under 15 years old should play 2-hand touch. Aren't our kids pussies enough? Aren't kids too much pussies already? We got to make them more pussies? I mean, seriously, you can have a football league, a high school football league where they touch each other? I mean, come on, man. Yeah. I mean, we have enough pussies in this country already. Let's keep, football for young kids. I mean, I loved the contact when I was a kid. I played football. I loved it. I used to love getting my clock cleaned. It was great, man.
Well, that explains a lot. Yeah. Well, listen.
But it was fun. You feel like you hit somebody, you get hit. You get something out of it. You boxed. You get something out of it.
Yeah.
It's adrenaline. You get adrenaline rush. 2-hand touch. Come on. You're fit. Like I say, kids are already playing video games. They're already not leaving their house. They're in their room all day long, living in their mom's basement. Let them have an activity, a physical activity. We played sports, football remember Kill the Man with the Ball?
Yeah.
You didn't even have protection. You didn't have nothing. You'd play with just a football and you'd tackle the guy who had the ball.
We used to play tackle. We used to play tackle with no pads. We had a game going and if you played on the street, we'd play tag on the street. And then if the out of bounds had grass, you'd get the tackle in the grass.
Yes.
You remember? So you would have to but you still tackle people on the ground. Like, oh, I thought you were still on the.
Oh, you do a very hard 2-hand touch. Boom. And that would always start a fight too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's bad, So, so Favre came out and said, and I lost a little respect for him because.
What was the age breakdown? When did he say that?
Under
I mean, maybe 12 and under, 10 and under. There shouldn't be tackle. But listen,
another 8-year-old's hitting another 8-year-old. It's not like Brian Bosworth's hitting an 8-year-old. How hard are you going to get? Getting hit by another 8-year-old. It's part of life. We play monkey bars with metal on the bottom. I mean, that's why we're tough and they're pussies.
Yeah, that's why the kids today, the generation of people, get so offended by things that are said and every little thing because they don't know how to deal with adversity. They don't know how to cope. with like things like that. You have to be. We live on a planet that's getting hit with sun flares and fucking asteroids and all kinds of shit. It's so misguiding to tell people that you can protect them and make the world a perfect place.
Well,
You know?
I remember about a year ago, I think it was. And you remember when we played in high school? It was fucking awesome. We played bombardment with the bowling pins. They would pretty much kill everybody who wasn't paying attention. There was always a girl talking to another girl in the back of the class, and you always threw the ball and hit her in the head, you know?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, about a year ago, I forget what pussy school it was, somewhere in Oregon, a kid got hit with a dodgeball with a ball, whatever. He had to go to medical because he was such a pussy, he had a headache, whatever he had. And the mom sued the school because her son got hit with a dodgeball and softball. And it's like, they took it out of the school. Obviously, they took it out because they can't handle it, you know? And it's just, you know what? There's got to be some danger in your life, man. You can't live a life without danger.
Yeah, you have to listen. And you talk about sports being hit, right? That you develop like a pain threshold.
Of course.
You know, and you mentioned like martial arts, like they're like in Taekwondo. Like I studied under the WTF, World Taekwondo Federation. So when you sparred, when you're in class and you sparred, it was full contact. You wear chest protector, headgear, and protective equipment, but it was full contact.
Yeah.
You know, but there was a Taekwondo federation called the ATA, the American Taekwondo Association, that when they sparred, it was like close, like you weren't supposed to touch anybody. Mm-hmm. And every time you'd go to a tournament, you always knew who the ATA guys were because they'd get the shit kicked out of them. Because the minute you kick them once, they're like, that hurt. I don't know how do I feel? That hurt. You know, they don't understand what it's like to deal with it. And you know, life is about people that are successful are the people that have been beaten, thrown, and just got back up. And we're raising a generation of pussies.
You know why you're successful? Because you don't take failure. Some people like Michael Jordan didn't take failure. And that's what's going on today is we don't let kids be tough anymore. You know, when I was real quick about school, and we'll go on to another subject. When I was a kid, if I got in a fight, like I was in 5th grade and I came home and told my dad's like, get your ass back there. Why are you telling me? How old's the kid? He's your age. Get your ass back there and fight him. You know, it's like now they're like, oh, where's he at? Let me talk to the principal. It doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah.
You know, listen, the principal is not going to be around your whole life.
Yeah.
You know, and it starts, believe it or not, your mold starts when you're younger, man. If you're a pussy when you're younger, you're a pussy when you're older. It's that
Once
way.
a pussy, always a pussy.
It's pretty much true, Doug. You know that, man.
Yeah.
You know, your ways don't change, man. They just don't change.
No, not at all. Well, you know, speaking of pussies and people that shouldn't be leaders, the mayor of Chicago is back in the news. Mayor Beetlejuice Lightfoot.
Yeah.
You know, there was an officer killed on duty. A couple of them were in the shooting with bad guys who, by the way, had their parents. The parents of the kids are like trying to justify, oh, those kids are, you know, they fucking shot a cop. Go fuck yourself, lady. I don't care about if he was hiding Easter eggs when he was a kid. He's a fucking bad kid. Well,
I hate that. By the way, I hate that. I hate when they try and justify bad behavior. Yeah. I don't, if you got beat when you were a kid, I got beat when I was a kid. I don't murder anybody.
Yeah.
Stop justifying bad behavior because how you were raised.
Yeah. Everybody makes that decision.
Exactly.
And you know what? The police, when the Lori Lightfoot went to the hospital to see the families of the fallen police officers, all the cops turned their back on her.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
and she's trying to say, "Oh, I'm sure get the fuck out of office." You know what I mean? Listen, that's what's going to happen. You know, a day of reckoning is coming.
I believe
the world isn't getting any easier. The world's not getting any nicer, and a day of reckoning is coming. For all of you who want people to circumvent and make excuses for failures and make excuses for why you're hurt and stuff, your days are ending. Those days are fucking coming to an end. You know, and I've said this before on my podcast, whereas, you know what, don't be surprised when crazy shit just keeps happening because people are going fucking crazy. The world's getting ugly. There's a fight for the last scrap of fucking meat out there. Look at those people that are trying to get on that plane. Look at the people that were trying to get on that plane in Afghanistan.
Terrible.
The guy thought, oh, I'm going to hang on to the air vent when this plane is traveling at 500 miles an hour. I'll be okay.
They've seen too many Harrison Ford movies where the guy's holding with 2 fingertips and he's like pulling himself on, he fights the guy, gets stabbed, and he's still hanging on the neck.
Yeah.
This shit doesn't happen. That force is pretty strong, bro.
How long is this flight? 6 hours. Oh, fuck.
Hey, look, we only went 3 miles, man. I got a long way to hang on.
My fingers are broken.
Crazy, man. It is crazy. And this Num Nums, which we said we were going to get so quick to him, and we kind of did, but he's doing nothing again, and he won't do anything. He's not capable of doing. He's just listen. You can't blame him. He's not capable of doing anything.
Listen, and he was not taking responsibility. He didn't take. He blamed the Afghan people. He's blaming everybody. Boy, doesn't that sound familiar? Are we saying that Trump never took? One of the things I never liked about Trump is if he would say, okay, you know what, I fucked up. He didn't want to do that every once in a while. He should have. But here's another guy doing the same thing, not taking credit or not taking blame.
Trump and Biden, he did fuck up once in a while. He might not say, but he did. He tried and he did. He fixed a lot of things, a lot of problems. He was very good for this country.
Yeah. A lot going on.
Yep.
Who's not doing well? Your boy Tebow.
Man, I hate to hear that, man.
He got.
I get it. But you know what? It's a long time, man. People don't realize, man. Think about it. You're playing a professional sport, which is not a slow sport. You're talking about a sport where you got to be really active, and he had too many years. I mean, this last year he played football was 2013. So you're going on 8 years, man. It's hard to go 8-year hiatus. I wish he made it because I love him. I mean, I love him as a person. He is one of the most genuine, greatest people. Every child should look up to this man. He does so many nice things, and unfortunately, but I get it. And he didn't deserve to be on the team, and you don't get. And that's listen, exactly. He didn't deserve it, and he's not on it.
You mean he didn't blame the Jaguars getting rid of him because he was Christian?
He never would. Matter of fact, did he not blame everybody? He thanked everybody for giving him a chance, and he wasn't ready for it.
He handled it honorably. He said, I was blessed with the opportunity. I wish I could have done better. He didn't blame his family. He didn't blame his upbringing. He didn't blame the media.
Because he was white, because he didn't blame. There was no reason why he blamed. He took it in stride. He knew he wasn't good enough, and he wasn't. He wasn't good enough. But he knew it, and he let it go. I wish he was playing because I like him. But you know what? I'm glad that he got an opportunity. But but he took a chance. And you know what? All these idiots that want to knock him, they can never be a Tebow. They'll never be a Tebow. All these idiots will say, "Oh, great athlete," and
What do you think his next move is?
I'll probably go into broadcasting. He's all about helping people. He's probably right now on a plane flying over Thailand, feeding the children. I mean, he's all about helping people. Him and Biden have a lot in common. He likes to feed the children. Biden likes to sniff the children. So they both do something with children. But
yeah, they both like children in one weird way or the other.
They want to help children out either way. So, but he didn't make it. It's okay. I still got Tom Brady. As long as I got Tom Brady in the right holster. I'll tell you right now, Doug, whether you believe me or not, and I'm in the sports business, the day Tom Brady retires, the whole TV set's going off. Boom.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just over it, man. I'm over all these guys making all this money and not appreciating it, and they're not loyal. Nobody's loyal anymore. If the team doesn't win after 4 years, the team that drafted them, that made them millionaires, that fed their families, if they don't get an extra $1 million instead of getting 88 million, they want 89. They jump ship. There's no loyalty. There's no like back in the old days when you had, a player play for the same team for 20 years. You just don't see that anymore. There's no loyalty.
Yeah, it's professional sports and the egos that come with it. It's gonna listen. Like all the ratings on sports are slowing down. Although I'm glad my English Premier Soccer League started again this weekend.
I love watching. I'm getting into soccer a little bit. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it's if you could watch a 1-0 game, it's good. I mean, I kind of like a little more action, but if you get the skill set of what these people are doing, it's amazing, man. Like when you think about it, they're passing the ball 20 yards to a pinpoint accuracy where in between two people, it's soccer. I always said it, soccer and hockey by far are the most intricate sports where people have the most skill.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like a quarterback, he's sitting there with his hands. He's got time, and he's trying to throw a 50-yard pass, and the guy's got to catch it. But in soccer, the guy's got to try to kick it to somebody with that same accuracy. And it's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game.
The only issue I have with soccer, and they should start finding people. I hate the flopping. Yeah. That's the only thing I like about soccer. They get touched and they fall down like they're dying. And that's the only part. If they could change that and just start maybe doing penalties, start throwing penalties for flopping, I think they could fix that.
Well, they started giving people yellow cards that are flopping, especially in the box. When they're to try to get a penalty kick.
Yeah, it's just, that part's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of the Olympics?
No. Not really.
I didn't either, man. It was funny because I said I was going to watch a couple events. I seen the one girl, gymnast. She kind of quit. I don't know the whole reason why she quit. It was kind of weird because she was the best Olympic gymnast we had, and all of a sudden, she couldn't. She
Well,
didn't do it.
there's a lot of people talking about that, and the girl who's a tennis player that dropped out of Wimbledon or whatever it was because her emotions and shit, you know. And there's people that got like, how dare you get mad at somebody? But listen, that's the idea about being an Olympic athlete. You have to
Yeah,
have the fucking mental toughness. You got to have all kinds of shit. And that's the thing that's the fucking thing that bugs me about our society today. You know, whether it's an athlete or whether it's somebody who runs a company, you know, why should that person get paid millions of dollars and the average person doesn't? Because that fucking person makes decisions. That person wakes up with all kinds of stress and pressure, deals with it, figures out a way to handle it, and still fucking goes out and does their
that
thing.
person makes $1 million decisions, and you don't. That's why.
Those type of decisions. Listen, I manage money for a living, so when the markets are down, you know, my day is fucking crazy because I know I'm the one watching and responsible for these people's retirement assets. Mm-hmm. So that type of responsibility comes with a lot of shit that you got to deal with, a lot of pressure. And not everybody can handle that. And that's why my expression is not everybody can walk on the moon. I don't care what you want. You know, listen, there's a reason not everybody can walk on the moon because they can't, because you don't have the ability to deal with it. And now, like we're talking about, kids today don't have any ability to fucking deal with adversity or handle things that aren't going well. You know,
they're being coddled. They're being it's ridiculous, man. How children, from my parents to the parents today, night and day, man. I mean, my parents were strict. They made sure, that, I was acting right and I had the proper behavior. Today, there's no supervision. They just feed them to come down for dinner and then go back to your room, and they don't know what the kid's doing, and that's why you have school shootings and you have all this crazy shit that you didn't hear about in the set. When did you hear about a school shooting in the 60s, 70s, or 80s? It didn't happen.
The first real was Columbine, right? Wasn't that the real first real?
Because parents don't take any foreseeing the actions of their kids. They're not paying attention to their kids,
right?
And they're not disciplining their kids because they want to be their friends, and that didn't happen in our generation. And also, there was no camcorder. So if my mom smacked the shit out of me with a belt, nobody was there to see it. Yeah. Now everybody can see it, and I think kids need to be smacked around a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of discipline. There has to be a moment in time where some kids got to realize that is not acceptable.
Otherwise, your kid becomes one of these little Antifa assholes with purple hair and skinny jeans out there fucking screaming, "Nah!" That's what happens, So
scumbag.
You gotta watch it. You gotta discipline your kids, man. You gotta make sure your kids turn out to be right.
I thought you'd enjoy this story, Mark. A man who learned he could suck water up into his ass.
How do you learn that?
You're in the bath one day and you're like, "Ooh, what happened? I'm a fountain." I mean, that's a talent, right?
I don't think it is, but I mean, anybody has an asshole. Everybody has an ass, and everybody has water. So I don't think it's like walking on the moon. But so, what was the final results of this man?
Well, he realized that as a kid that he can, suck water up in his ass.
So he breathed in water go up his ass.
Yep. The boy who laughed and dismissed his gift, telling it was nothing to be concerned about, rather than becoming a superhero about this. For a time, Joseph forgot his skill. Years later, however, he recounting the antidote to his friends that he can suck water up his ass. I mean, I guess that'd be good because you'd have one clean ass. You could give yourself an enema.
But I'm not sure if that's a skill set that you can show anybody. Like, I mean, I guess if you're sucking the water up, it's not coming back down. I guess it's a skill. I don't know.
No, it's something you could show. I mean, that'd be you'd be at a party. Hey, watch this! Holy shit! That you could tell your friends. I don't know if you're gonna put it on your resume when you're trying to get a job.
Yeah. Do you think that's really gonna impress anybody? Well, didn't the guy from like Jackass drink a beer in his ass? He sucked the whole beer.
Yeah.
I guess he had the skill too. So it's not a skill that other people have the skill too, because he was able to do the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it's not that unique.
You go for a job interview. Yeah, I can't type 60 words a minute. No, I'm not good at organization either. I could suck water up my ass.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not looking for that, but there's a pool company out there that'll hire you to get some of the moss out of the pool.
There's a drainage company that like one of those companies that vacuum out spills and water spills.
Right. So what happened? Is there an ending to the story?
No, there isn't. There's just I just thought the ability to suck water up into your ass.
I thought maybe he became a superhero and he's in New York and he got Cuomo out. I think there was like a story to this.
Yeah, they sent him to Greece to put out the fires out there. Stick all that water up in your ass and send them to California to put out the wildfires.
Talking about sticking things up their ass. Well, I don't know, but the whole thing. Bob Dylan, the musician Bob Dylan. Exactly. He's got to be 100 right now. He's got all these allegations out. Well, at least one big allegation. In 1965, this girl said that she drugged him and had sexual intercourse with this girl. And she waited, and that's funny because she waited 51 years. I mean, it's 56 years.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long time to wait for it. I'm going to get him. It's going to happen soon.
I was so angry.
Like 51. I'm so mad. But I mean, it's like, listen, if you're going to wait 56 years, why even tell anybody?
I mean, at this point, right? I mean,
go.
Yeah. I mean, and there's got to be a statute of limitations here. And I mean, can you imagine Bob Dylan? Hey, want some candy, little girl? Hey, I want you to touch my dick.
What made her come out now? And that always has been like a thought process for me. And I get it. Listen, it's traumatic and something you don't want to come out right away. I get it. But 56 years, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean that explains maybe like a few years. You're embarrassed. You don't.
You get older, and then you say, you know what, that was wrong. But come on, she's like 80 now. I mean, come on. It's a little late. It's a little late.
Imagine if she still kept the underwear to prove it. Yeah, that's nuts, man. How do you?
And that's the problem. Listen. That's why I feel bad for women that actually have been sexually molested, because then you got these hacks like Kavanaugh's girl. What was the Blasey Ford? You get all these hacks that come out years later for attention. You know what I'm saying? That's the scary thing about it, is because there is women that get sexually assaulted and molested, and it happens. I mean, just in the Biden household alone, there must have been 20 or 30. So it does happen. But unfortunately, you have all these hacks that come out. You had 3 or 4 that came out with Trump, and, they came out with Kavanaugh. It gives no credibility for the people that really have had this happen. And I always said this: if you said someone molested you and it's proven that they didn't, you should do the time that the person would have done if he did the crime. Like, I think so.
I don't think so. I think there should be a different set of laws.
No, I think it should be the same crime, because you're willing to put somebody away for. Listen, it'll happen a lot less. You're willing to put somebody away for a long time by lying. You'll have a lot less of this problem. You'll have a lot less.
You should false accusations, wrongful prosecution. There's rules against this stuff. Slanderous. There's all kinds of things. You can try to do. I don't think somebody should get, somebody accusing somebody of rape should be treated the same way as somebody who raped. I think
if they did that, you'd have a lot less accusations. You'd have more accusations, because that's the problem we have. Like the Duke case with the Duke boys from years ago, when Farrakhan came out and said, it's a hate crime, and they all came out. No one apologized to these poor kids. These poor kids went through hell. Went through hell. They had to get lawyers, and they were facing serious jail time. They lost scholarships. A lot of bad things happened to these kids, and no one ever apologized. And that girl did nothing. She got no time, and it came out she was lying, and she did no time. And it's too easy to lie. It's too easy to get away with it. There has to be repercussions for everything you do.
There definitely has to be recourse there. When somebody falsely accuses you of something and purposely tries to push you down.
Yeah.
I mean, that's happening. People are so jealous nowadays that, not only is it bad enough that somebody just says, I'm not going to, like, especially in comedy, right? It's one thing if you're a club owner and you just don't work somebody because you don't like the comic or you don't like their style. But if you're a club owner and you're contacting other club owners to tell people not that, trying to spread the word to minimize your work, then there's a nice spot in hell for you. And you know who I'm talking about. So, she knows who the fuck
you have some cutthroat. You have some cutthroat in your business, huh? A lot of
cutthroat. Of course you do. I'm ready. Trust me. I'm finding favors for reciprocity on this person. I'm reaching out to people on the tax side, and
does this guy know that you know?
No, this person doesn't know. I just know.
Fuck, huh?
I just know, and like I said, I'm going to wait, and there will be reciprocity.
But you know what, Doug? The people that hired you, they know who you are. They know what kind of comedian you are. Listen, this guy can say whatever he wants. If you're not funny, they're going to get rid of you anyway. So that's the good thing. It's like me saying, listen, by the way, calling the Buccaneers up. Listen, by the way, this guy Brady, he sucks. Get rid of him. It's like, if somebody knows you're good, and listen, in my business too, believe it or not, there's a lot of jealousy, because, it's like golf in my business. The top 10% are doing fantastic, and the other 90%, aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Struggling.
I'm
Yeah.
the top percent. I'm top higher than that. So
Right.
the other 90%, they get jealous and they always say something bad. And you know what, Doug? The truth of the matter is, I wish everybody success. Even Biden. Matter of fact, I really wish him success because he's the leader of my country. But that's the problem. I wish everybody success. I try to help people to make them more successful.
Yeah.
I give people advice. I do TikTok videos just to give people advice how to be successful.
Right.
And I just love when people, it just drives them crazy when you are successful. And it's like, well, he's lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I work hard. I do a lot of different avenues. I do the internet. I do a lot of things. I'm personable. That's why I'm successful.
There's nothing worse than when somebody who's not successful just calls you lucky. That famous quote that fortune favors the prepared mind. You know what I mean? You have to be in the position, sometimes luck is just usually, when ability finds an opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's usually luck.
There is luck in things. There is luck in things. You could get lucky in things, but you don't stay lucky if you're no good at it. Listen,
Yeah, it
you have an opportunity to do it, but if you suck, the opportunity is gone.
Yeah. If you're completely useless and you have no true values, you won't get luck because those opportunity surrounds like successful things. Like when things are going well, like any person, like when you're having a good time and your life is going well, you're in a good mood, then people want to be around you. If you're a miserable fuck and you're always pissed off and complaining about stuff, nobody wants to be around you.
Yeah.
And that's toxicity. That's like, that's like in our business, is comedy. You don't want to be around a comic that's always complaining and shit. Oh, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that.
Me personally, I hate negativity. Like I have people that come in my business like, oh, they're complaining about everything. I'm like, dude, get your negativity and get out of here with that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I got 20 more years on this planet. I want to enjoy them. I don't want to listen to you tell me, it's going to rain tomorrow. I don't give a fuck. It's not raining now. So,
well, I got a story here of 3 people that probably could be negative. They have a reason to be negative. You know why?
Why?
Well, they're definitely negative. 3 brothers die after being stuck in a manure pit in Ohio.
Oh my God.
What a way to go.
And how do you get stuck in a manure pit?
You vote for Biden. Authorities in Ohio say 3 brothers have died after they became stuck in a manure pit and were overcome by the fumes.
I can't imagine. But like, why were they near a manure pit? Was it like, do they work for sanitation? Do they work for
they were fixing a manure pump before they passed out by the fumes. Well, that's got to be a shitty job.
They went quick. Oh man, that's a shitty job, boy. I tell you.
That reminds me of the old joke, like you're down in hell and you're down there and the devil takes you to the 3 doors. Like, here's a door, you go in there and there's like people being poured acid on them. Oh, I don't want to go in there. And then there's another door, he goes in there and and there's people being like cut in half and sliced. Oh, I don't want to go in there. And they go in the other one. There's just people standing knee deep in shit. And the guy says, okay, you know what? I'll pick this room. He goes in there and 10 minutes later, okay, everybody, now it's time to get on your hands and head. Do your headstand.
They were sitting there drinking tea. The jokers were drinking tea and they said, go on your hands now. Yeah, that's a pretty funny joke, man. But like opportunity is what you make it, and that's what it is. Real quick, because our time is getting quick, because we go through topics pretty quick and the time goes quick. Real quick, Oakland Raider fans, I guess not the Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, I guess they are now.
Right.
They're actually banning people to the stadium unless they have a COVID test. So think of these Raider fans with these crazy costumes. They don't shower in 6 months. These aren't the healthiest people on the planet anyway. They're going to have nobody. If they have to have a COVID test for you to get in there, they'll have 7. I predict 7 people at the next game.
Vaccines. They have to be vaccinated.
Have to be vaccinated and proof of vaccination to go to the game.
Yeah. And what a way to differentiate you and separate your clients, right? And your fan base. I mean, look at New York. You can't do anything in New York. De Blasio is all excited. Like, this is an incentive to get fucking vaccinated. No,
people don't want to get it done, aren't getting it done. Let me tell you something. We're stuck at this percentage because there's people that just don't feel comfortable. And I get it. Listen, I get both sides of it. I got vaccinated because I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. My girlfriend was in the medical field. My dad is older. My mom has diabetes. And I felt it was the right thing to do. Okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe in a year I'll have no skin on my face. I don't know. Okay. But that's my choice, okay? But I get the people that don't want to get vaccinated because, first of all, there's a slim chance they're going to get COVID anyway. There's a slim chance. There is. Not everybody's getting COVID, okay? That's the first thing. And some people just don't know what's in the vaccine. I get it. It hasn't been tested long enough, and I get it. So I get both sides of the coin. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. But I hate these people that tell me, You got to do this. You got to do that. No, I don't. That's fucking America. If you're so pro against abortion, then I could be pro with my body, what I want to put in my
Yeah.
body. So I get
Nobody,
both.
nobody should be judging you for your decision. And
Exactly.
I mean, that's the way it is. I'm like, look, when I was in the airport I flew from Wichita to Dallas, and when I got to Dallas, I thought I'd just wear my mask when I was at the bar. You could take the mask off and eat and drink, but I kept it on for some reason. I was just a feeling I had. You know what I mean? And it was like, somebody says, "Oh, you comfortable with that mask on?" I go, "Yeah, actually, right now I am." And like this person doesn't know me. I'm complete opposite. I don't. And stuff. What this fucking current administration keeps ignoring is the naturally immune. We don't. There were so many people that had COVID that never knew they had it because of the asymptomatic aspect. So there's a huge amount of people that have natural immunity to it,
Yeah.
which they're still saying it's maybe a little better than the.
Of course there is, Doug. And think about, if you really think about the facts, if you think about them, you have to have that way, because if this thing was so deadly and contagious and horrific, where the whole world was going to, become the Walking Dead with zombies, if it was so much this, okay, we'd have a lot more than 600,000 people die. I mean, there's 338 million people in the United States. This is going on almost 2 years. If this thing was so contagious and so deadly, actually 500,000 didn't, 600,000 people. But if you think about that, in 2 years, that many people die anyway. I mean, I'm sure it's spiked up, and COVID is real. I'm not saying COVID's not real, 100% real, okay? But there's a chance of everything in life catching anything. There's always a chance of anything. And the funny thing is, the same idiot that's worried about COVID, and I'm not saying not to be worried about COVID, is not worried about the person next to him with a cigarette blowing smoke in their face.
Right.
They're not worried about eating a Big Mac and with extra fries and apple pie. They're not worried about diabetes. They're just worried about this one thing. It's like the guy that has the dry clean shirt, and he's so worried about the label, the dry cleaning, more than anything else in the world. It's a Jerry Seinfeld joke, but he's worried about the dry cleaning label. You can't wash this; it has to be dry clean. But they're not worried about anything else. So that's kind of where we're at on everything right now. Because nobody knows, Doug. They don't.
No, and that's
doctors have two different opinions.
No, and that's right. And you know what? Look, you're right. It's your right to choose or not to choose. But the question is our rights being like, I can't go out to eat somewhere if I don't have the vaccination. So now I have to get a vaccination because I want to go out to dinner. I want to go to a show or something like that. That's bullshit. I already had COVID, so I'm not going to fucking get a vaccination. So it's just this ignorance. And when people push, when the suspicion grows even worse, when people push and try to push you into it, you're like, well, what the fuck?
First of all, no one trusts the government. The government's so shady, and no one trusts the government anyway. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It has, like you said, Doug, it has to be a gut feeling what you feel like you need to do. If I didn't have elderly parents, I don't want to be the 100th of 1% chance my mom dies. I don't want to be that. It probably never happened, but I'd rather sacrifice my life. And that's how I feel. My parents are more important than me. So
there you go.
Listen up. Our show is ending right now because we're way past time. I love talking to everybody. This has been a great show, by the way. And I love having Doug. He's very good. Guys, if you get a chance, you have to see him. He's really funny. And if he wasn't, I'd be the first one to tell you, but he is. Where are you going to be next, Doug?
This Thursday, I'm going to be in Nashville at the Comedy Bar in downtown Nashville, 9 p.m. show. So come out and see me on the showcase there at the Comedy Bar in Nashville. And I'm going to be back in Florida. I'm going to be staying with you. I'm going to be at Gatsby's on Wednesday, September. I think it's
Gatsby's in Boca?
No, Gatsby's in Fort Lauderdale. It's on Commercial Boulevard.
Okay, I know where that one is.
Commercial Boulevard East out there. Gatsby's. I think it's that Wednesday, the 1st of September or the 30th of August.
One of my favorite hangout places.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome, man. And me, I do what I do, man. I buy and sell everything: watches, Rolexes, Breitlands, artwork. I'll buy a Joe Biden autograph. I don't care. If you have it, I'll buy it. Just bring it by, and
you'll know it's his autograph because he puts Bill Smith.
Because he has no idea who he is. But yeah, man, come see me at my shop, 418 North Federal Highway. I got a big wheel. You get to spin it. If you get a prize, we give it to you right there. It's a lot of fun. We're always doing events at our place, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody, enjoy what you do. Peace out. Love what you do. And remember, 2022 is coming, and you can make a change, man.
The red wave's coming, baby.
I hope, man. We'll see.